know if it's straightened out, but I think trying to figure out, just when it's out of our control. Let me rephrase that, because it's not out of our control, but when you have no idea that it's on your car, because we had nothing to do with trying to manipulate it or anything like that. It was just a part given to us that unfortunately had either work done or was different than the other one. So as we go through this process, I think it's important to make sure we look at all the parts, but it's unfortunate. It easily could have been on my car. And it's something that at College Racing we had really nothing to do with when it came to trying to manipulate the rules. It's just something unfortunate that we had on the race car that we weren't trying to mess with, unfortunately. So that's part of what we're going to fight, and I guess it just shows that we probably got to be focused on every part of the race car, make sure whether it's given to us or not that it's within the rules.
Brad Keselowski mentioned that his team had noticed over the last year or so that there were parts that weren't right, and they would let NASCAR kind of know. There's a portal for it, apparently. Have you guys reported any parts in the past?
Oh, you'd have to talk to Chris and the crew chiefs on that. I just drive the race car. I don't understand most of it anyway. So
I don't think any of us do.
Exactly.
AJ, you being a former open wheel guy going to COTA next week, you're going to have Kimi Raikonnen and Jensen Button in the same race. What's that like for you?
I think it's freaking awesome, honestly. Like, this is what makes it fun, is when you get guys like that come into our sport. When I used to run Rolex and things like that, I was more of a race fan at times, because I love watching all forms of racing, and it was always fun to race against those guys. So when you get guys like Kimi and Jensen showing up, Jordan Taylor, it makes you step your game up. And I love the fact that they are showing up and they're a part of NASCAR.
What was your reaction to the Meyer Shank penalty?
I had talked to Mike, honestly, before that, and he kind of let me know that it was coming, kind of gave me the background story of it and everything that had happened through the process of the race. So I wasn't shocked. I already knew that it was happening. So I just always told Mike, I tell him till the day we die, I love you. He's my brother, and times will get a little rough on social media, so you got to kind of take yourself out of it. He knows at the end of the day, when it came to winning the race, what they did during it and how they won the race. And that's for him if he ever wants to talk about. But, support him, and you just, like we probably need to do more of, stay off social media.
Has the energy in the shop changed at all with the 31 being buried in points now?
No. I think it's so new that, as we're going through the process, and, Chris and Matt, they're going to do what they can to go to NASCAR and try to right the wrong and show that we had nothing to actually do with trying to manipulate the part or work on it. But, the energy is still go out there each week and try to win a race. Or run the best that we can. I think for us, we haven't had the speed that we wanted at the beginning of the year. So we just are trying to get better each weekend right now and find speed in our race cars. So the energy doesn't change. It's disappointing for sure, but it doesn't change anything. And at the end of the day, the way this format works, you win a race, you're still probably going to be in. So, or at least have a chance to be in. So that's what we're focused on.
Hey, just curious, I know Jensen and Jordan and Kimi have all had time in the next-gen car or a variant there of Garage 56, but is this car more adaptable for drivers coming in from different disciplines, and in what way?
Yeah, it's definitely different. The thing that anybody would struggle with coming from a different car and just try to jump in a one-off, the way the old cars used to brake and the H pattern, the way they would wheel hop and lock the brakes, and just the movement in those cars in general, it was a tall task to, let alone be competitive, just figure out how to drive it over a race period. Those cars were unique and unlike anything else that I'd ever driven in my life of just all those aspects. So, these cars are more like a GT car. They still react different. I running the GT cars, the Rolex 24. They're still different for sure, but they're a lot closer to what they've driven than jumping in the old generation car and having to figure that out.
Kind of what they're always being a lot of talk.
This is Austin Dillon, driver of the Bass Pro Shops Chevrolet. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also check out one of those 2 videos beside me. Visit frontstretch.com for more racing content.